one. When you think of a three-row SUV that is electric, what vehicle comes to mind? Maybe the Tesla Model X with its cramped third row? You know what? I think I may have a solution for the American market. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this review, I have this 2024 Kia EV9. I'm going to show you all of its different features, take it on the drive, and give you guys my final verdict. You know what? Let's do remote start this time. We're going to lock the doors, hold down the key fob. It's already on because it's electric. Shh. You know what? Let's try the automatic parking function. The smart park. Look at that. Look, man, no hands. But I'm going to go ahead and catch this EV9. But let's go ahead, drum roll, get into this review. Outside of the 2024 Kia EV9, this is your key fob right here. You have lock, unlock, as well as a trunk release and a panic button right there. And then on this side of the key fob, you have your remote start function, as well as a front release and your smart park functions. I am liking the key fob with Kia inscripted right there. Now, as equipped, this GT-Line version, all-wheel drive, is $7,615. It is dressed in a ocean blue metallic exterior for $695 on a Gray SynTex Interior, which I will show you guys in a second. But looking at the exterior of this EV9, Kia does describe this GT-Line package as sporty and modern in these two distinct adjectives. But looking at the front end, you can see you have a full LED lighting setup right here with cube LEDs. It does have digital animations as well as a illuminated grille. I will insert a clip of how it looks when you have the LEDs in action. But look a little bit more at the exterior. You can see this does have the newer Kia badge up top. You have some sensors right there for the smart park, and you have active grille shutters down below, as well as the sensor for the adaptive cruise control. You can also see the front view camera right there. Coming over here to the wheels, you do have a 21-inch wheel. It is a black finish wrapped in a 285 width tire. Now in the Kia lineup, this is basically an electric Telluride or Palisade. If you want to get a little bit more of a size context with this vehicle, it is a full electric three-row SUV. Blacked out mirrors, which are power folding with the LED turn signals, and you do have your side view camera right there. I am liking the flush door handles, which does help with aerodynamics and improves range. You have keyless entry right there for the front door handles. You have blacked out roof racks up top, and you have a full view panorama sunroof. Over here is your window sticker. I'll put all the information in the description below. Ground clearance is rated at 7.8 inches off the ground. Coming around to the rear of the EV9, you can see they have a full LED tail light setup right here for your LED brake lights, as well as turn signals, and reverse lights are down below right here. And you got GT-Line badging right there. 3/4 rear view. Boom. But now let me show you guys the trunk space. Now opening the trunk, you'll find 20.2 cubic feet of space behind the third row seats. If you do fold down the third row, that will expand to 43.5 cubic feet of space all the way to the second row. This one is a 6-seat configuration. Couple of amenities back here. You can see you have some tied down straight cargo, and you have a little button right there to close the tailgate, as well as a 12-volt charger over here. You have to manually release the third row seats, but the second row is powered with these buttons over here on this side, as well as a household outlet right there. Now this one does have a 10.9 kilowatt onboard charger as well, with this one, which is standard on this GT-Line pack. Have your first aid kit, carpeted floor mats, and some more storage right there, as well as a fixed flat kit. Closing the trunk, you can close the doors right there and lock them, as well as just close the tailgate on that side. But now let me show you guys under the hood of the EV9 where all the action happens. Or that's what I would say in a gas version, but it's electric. You have to push it twice, open the front. Now under the front, you will find a 1.8 cubic foot front under here for more storage. Have another kit right there, washer fluids, and you do have air filter replacement right here behind this little door. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about specs of this EV9. This is a GT-Line version, so you have a dual motor setup with 379 horsepower and 516 pound-foot of torque. It uses a 99.8 kilowatt-hour battery rated at 270 miles of range. Vehicle weight is 5,886 pounds, as this one is equipped. And you do also have a fuel pump as well to help with range in colder, inclement weather. Now, speaking more of charging, we're gonna go ahead and open up the charging port. On a 240 volt charger, you'll get from 0 to 100% in 8 hours and 45 minutes. If you use a DC fast charge, it will charge from 10 to 80% in just 24 minutes. This is on the new E-GMP platform. And as stated before, any trunk does have a 10.9 kilowatt onboard charger. That's for your regular 240 volts. And you can use this right here for your DC fast charge. You just close the door, boom. Zero to 60 is rated at 5 seconds, as this one is equipped. You can also get a long-range light version, rear-wheel drive, which is rated at 304 miles of all-electric range. 3/4 rear view or front view right here, boom. But now let's hit the interior where all of the action happens. We're gonna start out in the third row seats. Now, access in the third row, this is a 6-seat configuration, so you can go through the middle, or you can hit the button right here or down here to access the third row. Boom. Thank you very much. Hopping inside of the third row seats. What I really noticed back here is the amount of legroom and headroom back here. So as far as headroom goes, I have about 2.5, 3 inches of headroom, which is pretty good. And as far as legroom, when I really have it adjust for me at 5'6", I'll have about 1 inch of legroom. You do have USB-C port right there, some cup holders and storage down below. You can see you do have air vents up top with some LED illumination right there as well. But now let's hit the second row seats, which I have to say is probably the best seat in the house. Go ahead and close the door. Slide the seats back. Now you can also get for a $2,000 charge, you can get a power second row seat in a more relaxing mode. So it has a full relax mode that you can configure. But looking over here at the door panels, you can see they have a 3-stage heated and cooled second row seat. And you can see the ambient lighting, which looks so cool. So right now I have it set on a 2-tone design. So red on top and blue on the bottom. Boom. You can see a little bit more red illumination down below. Now this is your center console. You have 2 cup holders up top. Storage compartment right there with a little tray. You can close that for even more storage down below. You have mat pockets and you have USB-C ports right there on the back of the chairs on both sides. And you do have adjustable armrests right here, as you can see, making this a little bit more comfortable. You have a 3-zone climate control, so you got 2 up front and 1 out back, which you can change and configure right up here on the roof and turn it off like so. 2 more air vents up top with some LED illumination. But look at that ambient lighting though. The 2-tone right there. You got the red and the blue. You probably won't be able to see that up front because it is a little sunny out, but you also have manual sunshades as well back here, aiding into the comfort. As well as this panorama sunroof, which is a separate zone, so you can control it right there with the button up top. But now let's hit the cockpit of the EV9 where all of the action happens. Looking at the cockpit, this is a Gray SynTex Interior. You can see looking over here, we have a 10-way power driver's seat with ergo motion massage. You can control the bottom support right there for the leg support, and you can put in a full relax mode, power bottom as well as back. You have a bolstering with a 4-way lumbar support right there. But looking over here at the door panels, you can see you have a little bit of illumination for the ambient lighting, even down below here. You have your seat controls for the heated steering wheel, which is 2-stage, the massage for the Ergo Motion driver seat, a heated and cooled front seat, 3-stage, with a 2-person memory. All windows are automatic. Now looking over here on the panel, you can see your clutch illumination, electronic parking brake, traction, as well as your trunk release, front release, and charging port release right there. You have a power tilt telescoping steering column. You can see a little bit more of this two-tone interior right here. The gray and the white looks so cool. You can also see GT-Line inscripted right there. But now let's hit the interior. Now looking inside of the interior of the EV9, you can see do have a dual 12.3-inch setup right here, as well as a 12-inch head-up display right here in front of me. But looking right here, you can see you have this 4-spoke design steering wheel with your light controls, as well as wiper controls over here. And you have all your controls to control and configure this 12.3-inch display right here in front of you. You have your paddle shifters for the region functions. And this does have the new Kia logo right there, which does illuminate at nighttime. You can change all the different modes right here. So on this side of the steering wheel, you can change your driver assist technology, as well as the various different pages of the menus of the central display. You can put up your differential information, range, miles, and so on, as well as the full amount of range, and tire pressures, and so on. You got heading, and then you got your lane information right there as well. You got lane keeping assist with your adaptive cruise control. And then over here on this side is a preset favorite button with your volume controls, as well as telematic information for your voice commands. And then right here is your drive modes, as well as the 4-wheel drive lock. So for drive modes right here, you have an eco, normal, a sport, and a my drive mode, which is configurable, and snow for inclement weather right there. Over here on this side of the steering wheel down here, you can see this is how you start up the vehicle by pushing this button to turn it on. Push forward for drive, which you can see the sensors do light up, neutral, reverse, and you have a 360 camera right there, which check your lines. You can give a full 3D view around the EV9. You got different setups right there, so you can change parking sensors and so on. But it's like infinite views you can change and configure. Literally like a TV store, really. You can go in the drive, you can put up a front view as well and look ahead of you. And you just push right there for park on the end of the stock. But look a little bit more at this infotainment. This is also a 12.3-inch display. You have your navigation right there. So we are trying a navigation test. I mean, the response, look at this, is crazy. Now this screen does have over-the-air updates as well. You can see right there, navigation is very quick, easy, and responsive to use. But going back to your home page right here, I also want to show you guys that you do have some climate control buttons right here on the side of your infotainment. So when using the buttons right here, actually show and configure all the different modes. But you kind of can't see it when you're driving like this. So if you're driving over here, you kind of won't be able to see it. It is a little obstructed from your view. You also have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So I do want to try a quick audio test. Now it does have a 14-speaker Meridian sound system. So let's try it out real quick. Yeah, I was bumping to it earlier, so we gotta go back to the basics. Now, as you can see, the 14-speaker Meridian sound system has a lot of bass and sound quality. I definitely am liking the system. Now, what I also want to show you before I show you more modes in the screen is that you do have some shortcut buttons for your home, map. You can also search various different menus, media, a preset favorite button, and a setup button right there. So going back to home, CarPlay, you have your weather settings, valet mode. You can also go over here to your setups. So you can change basically everything about this EV9, so infotainment. Go into vehicle settings, you can change and configure all of your driver assist technology right here, as well as your drive modes. So for the My Drive mode, it is configurable. So going to here, you can change the motor between a eco, normal, and sport, as well as the steering between a normal and a sport. You also have active sound design, so it'll be the pumped in audio for the electric motors. So right now I have it set on moderate. Climate control settings, seat settings right there for the Ergo Motion massage driver seat. Change ease of access, so when you get in the vehicle, it'll move the seat back to let you get in a little bit easier. Smart support, so you put in your height and it'll change everything about the experience about how you sit to match your specific height. And then you see right there for the Ergo Motion massage seat, which is pretty good. I have it set to strong for the intensity, and then you can change the sessions between short, medium, and long. Going over here to lights, which is probably one of my personal favorites, you have ambient lighting, which is multicolor. So you can change the ambient lighting between a top and a lower mode. So right now I have it set to a red up top and a blue on the bottom right there. You guys can see that with the door panels. So I hit the red and orange, you'll see it'll change the colors. But blue really pops with this interior, so you can see that right there. You got blue on the top, and then you got a green on the bottom. You probably see a little bit more in the back seats right there. Yeah, you can probably see back there. It's a little more shady, so you can really see all that right there. And you can also put it into a single color as well. So you can go single color or dual color. Door settings. This does have the smart trunk stand behind the vehicle for 3 seconds and it'll open up automatically. Digital key functions and convenience settings are right here. Going back to your home page, you have some vehicle diagnostic settings, built-in online owner's manual, HD radio data right there for the traffic as well as weather and fuel pricing, and your maintenance information is right there with some notifications. As I mentioned before, this is your climate control buttons right here, and these right here are some more USB-C ports to connect into the infotainment. So right here you can go for just connectivity for charging, and if you hit this button, boom, it turns yellow, so connect to the infotainment and charge your device. This right here is just for charging. You push that right there for a 12 volt right there. You see right here you do have a little bit more storage, and you can see a little bit more of that green ambient lighting, which is two-toned right here. Rolling this little compartment back right here, you'll find 2 cup holders for a pretty good size. You have a auto hold as well as hill descent, parking sensors, and then this right here will pull up your 360 camera. If you push it again, it'll do the automatic parking. So if I double tap it, you have to be in drive. It'll just basically do the automatic parking. You have a wireless phone charger. My iPhone is just chilling right here. This right here is for the finger recognition, so you can use like your fingerprint to access the vehicle. Looking right here in the center console, you have a little bit more storage. You got some controls right here on the seats for the rear seat accommodation, so you can move the passenger seat a little bit more forward, as well as slide it forward as well to ease access of entry back there. You have a digital camera mirror up top, and you can put a regular mode right there. Really does aid with visibility. But up top you do have your telematic information for the SOS button, illumination. You can also tilt and slide open the moonroof up top. And you can also open and close the shade for the second and third row accommodations. So you see that right there. Slide it back with that button right there. Your key connect functions and more telematics up top. But now let's go and take the EV9 for a drive and check out how it does in the real world. So let's go. We are behind the wheel of the 2024 Kia EV9. Now speaking of visibility out the front, rear, and sides, I can see very good over the hood, as well as out the side mirrors and even out the back. It is even more aided by all of the cameras, so the digital camera mirror right here, when you put on the turn signal on both sides, as well as this digital rear view camera right there. Right now we are in this eco mode for maximum amount of range. Setting off, how is the comfort in this vehicle? Comfort is great. This is a SynTex Interior, which is gray. You have heated and cooled front seats for the first row as well as the second row. You does have a heated steering wheel. This one does have the Ergo Motion massage seats as well, so I can change the various different modes. So right now we'll put it on this whole body stretch mode right there. You can change to configure all the different modes for the massage. So right now I have it set on 15-minute increments, which is like the middle setting. And comfort for the massage is pretty good. It could be a little bit stronger, but definitely is very familiar to other Genesis models and as well as Hyundai models. Now speaking more about the range of this vehicle, this is a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery. This is rated at 270 miles of electric range. Now if you go for a light, long range rear wheel drive version, that is rated at 304 miles of electric range. You have regions right there behind the paddle shifters to change the various different modes. So this is its full max regen mode right there. And even in eco mode, all 379 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque comes on tap. Now the regen mode in its max mode is strong, but it's not like too much. So you can see right there, you change your various different modes. There are 4 different ones. So you go to level 2, level 3, and you go all the way down to level 1. To me, I think level 2 and level 3 are about the most you'd want on a daily basis. As you can see, as the sun sets a little bit, you can see the ambient lighting, which looks so cool at nighttime. Right now it is a 2-tone setup, so you can see a little bit of the red accents, as was the blue accents on the lower part of the door. Really just adds that level of luxury and comfort at nighttime, along with the massage seats. You can go through your different drive modes. You have a normal mode, which is a nice blend of eco and sport. And you have your My Drive mode right here, which is a customizable drive mode. And you have a snow mode right there. But right now we'll just throw into sport. Oh, yeah. This thing moves, man. I mean, yes, it's 5,800 pounds, but just that instantaneous torque with these electric vehicles are amazing. Now we do have to try a quick 0 to 60. I'm gonna turn off traction and we'll just try from a stop. Woo! And that's a strong acceleration right there. Kia says a 5-second 0 to 60. That feels bang on the money right there. Hold on, wait. We gotta try one more while nobody's behind us. We got a free road, just one more. I find traction off it feels a little bit stronger off the line. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's turn traction back on. Now this is riding on the E-GMP platform, so this underpins a lot of the Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis models. So you can kind of feel a little bit more like that rear-wheel drive bias feeling just going around the corners. But going back into its eco mode and just chilling, I want to throw in the adaptive cruise control as we got people in front of us and just chill for a minute. Now this does have the full suite of driver assist, so you have automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist with steering intervention, and it will actually respond to feedback in the steering wheel, blind spot. This one does have the smart park function, and you can see right there adaptive cruise control is working just fine using the camera up top, following traffic in front of me. And you see right there, it does also pick up lines as well. The lane keeping assist. That's cool. I'm overall liking the technology of this EV9 thus far. And a digital camera mirror just never gets old. This thing really just has a lot of space. This is probably one of the first like full-size electric SUVs like this that has real third seat or third row legroom. But what I really want to talk about is the ride quality. So this does have a McPherson strut. Go ahead, Yukon. But this has a McPherson strut up front with a 5-link rear suspension out back, which really does aid with ride. This does have a 21-inch wheel setup, and the ride quality is just pretty good. It's amazing, to say the least. Let's use some more of that regen. Yeah, iPedal Max. We got level 3. I have to say I'm really impressed with the technology of this EV9 overall. So now this is actually one of the first Kia models to integrate wireless connectivity for both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do have embedded navigation right there. You can see EV pages. You have some setups. If I go into light setups, you can change and configure the ambient lighting, which is just so cool. It really just spruces up the cabin at nighttime. So you go into a yellow-green setup. You can have like this red-blue setup. You can just change all these different colors. It's so cool. Just the little details that matter that just really just adds. But overall, this vehicle as equipped is about $78,000, or just basically $80,000 prior to tax. And I have to say, it definitely does feel like that. The amount of comfort, the amount of technology that you get is just different from other electrics. Rush hour traffic in Owens Mills is rough, to say the least. But you do have all driver assist. You have the 360 camera, trajectory lines. You got the automatic smart park function. What I really love is the ambient lighting, though. Just all the changes and stuff is so cool. And you just have that extra level of luxury that you just don't get in some electric vehicles that just this does offer. Love this digital camera right there too. Boom, and that one too. Look at that, I'm charging the battery. But yeah, so overall, what I have to say about this EV9, as this traffic will probably be for a while as we slowly inch up to the dealership. We got about a mile to go. But overall, I have to say the luxury aspects are definitely there. I'm liking everything that Kia is offering. The range is definitely there. This is rated at 270 miles of range, which I think in the right conditions, this does have a heat pump as well. So in like colder conditions, it'll probably be like 270 miles. But if you get the right weather, I think that you can easily eke out the 300-mile range. Now, if you go for the rear drive long range, I think it's wind to light that I mentioned a second ago, that will get 304 miles of range. So I can only imagine what that would do, but that is a little bit slower. That's like in the 7-second range for 0-60. I think the acceleration on this feels a little bit more right for like the amount of range and stuff that you have, and even for the segment overall. You got this 360 camera right there. The graphics is just amazing. Now this one does also have a 10.9 kilowatt onboard charger, which funny enough, I am using it right now for my GoPro. It's actually charging up in the back. There's a household outlet in the trunk. It's just funny. And the power is just instantaneous. Now, it took me forever to find one of these. I was looking for weeks, and I can honestly see why a lot of these are pre-sold, specifically in this GT-Line fully loaded trim, which is a hint of sporty and modern technology, which Kia does describe this as. It's honestly a really impressive vehicle, though. Now, one gripe that I do have is that on the spec sheet, it did say something about this having a 12-inch head-up display, which I don't know if it's not deactivated, as this is a pre-production vehicle, but I couldn't get it to work. I was looking around all the settings and I couldn't activate it, so I don't know what's going on with that. But other than that, though, this thing is sweet. All the materials are soft touch. Could be maybe a smidge softer towards the bottom of the door panels, but other than that, all this is just nice touch, high quality. And the ride is also good as well, these 21-inch wheels. I'm noticing too, the more I drive this vehicle, how isolated it is from the road. Like, I didn't think about it till, I was just quiet for a minute. Wow. There's a Tesla store. Driving an electric past an electric store, car store. But yeah, that's all we had to say about the EV9 overall. Like the technology, like the luxury. And that's basically it. And the range is also good as well. The head-up display could be fixed. Other than that, this is a great car. And the cars have been out today. It's got a TRX right there. I saw a C8 Corvette, some Honda van, like mini, like not like a minivan, but like a tiny little box van. But yeah, I'm definitely impressed with this vehicle. But this is basically going to wrap up this video, as we made it back to the dealership in one piece. This is Chris signing out, and I'll see ya in the next one. Make sure to check out a EV9 at your local dealership to see how much it leaves an impression on you in person. But this is Chris signing out. Peace.